Hi, welcome to this video showing you how to use a corporation tax calculator and dividend workbook. In terms of corporation tax, if you don't have any large fixed asset purchases, and that's buying things like computers or plant and equipment, office furniture, etc. If you don't have any of those sort of purchases, or they're not very large, and you don't have lots and lots of client entertaining, then you can just look at your profit and loss in zero to date, take 20% of the profit figure, and that will give you a pretty good estimate as to what your corporation tax is going to be. However, if you want to be a little more accurate, you can use this workbook. Also, if you want to declare dividends during the year, we recommend you use this workbook both to calculate your corporation tax and to make sure that you've got enough profit after tax to declare a dividend, and it will also create the paperwork for you. Whilst this video lasts about 15 minutes, to do this on a monthly basis, once you get used to it, should take you a matter of about 3 or 4 minutes. So it's quite a quick process. But what we have the workbook, and the first tab on the workbook is business details. You'll only need to complete this the first time you use it in the year. So if I put in, I'm going to use the demo company limited. We need to put in the meeting address. The meeting address will either be your registered office, or if you're using a paid for registered office, you can put your home address. This isn't seen by anybody, so it's not going to be on public record. So you'll see here there's a note saying you need to enter on one line separated by commas. So we'll put 13 City Road, comma, city, town, and then the postcode CT16 5SG. And that will then pull through to the report if you declare a dividend. You want to put in your registered number, the company's registered number. So in this case, we're going to assume it's 100 100. If you have a company secretary, put their name in here. Put the company's year end. So in this case, the company's year end is 31st March 17. If you're not sure about the year end, you can look in Xero or you can ask us. The individual share value is normally £1. Again, if you're not sure, you can look on Companies House against your company, or you can ask us. Put in the shareholder's name. So in this case, we're going to have John Smith. Say whether they're a director or a secretary, and if they're neither, then put just shareholder. But in this case, John Smith is a director. He owns 50 shares, and his address in this case is 13 City Road. His wife, Anne Smith, is also a director, a shareholder. She's not a director, so I'm just going to put a shareholder there. Here we are, 50 shares, and then we've got the address, 13 City Road. Now, what we need to do is download two reports from Xero, the profit and loss and the balance sheet, but they have to be in a certain format. So the instructions for the profit and loss tell you exactly how to do that, and the instructions for the balance sheet tell you how to do the balance sheet. So looking at the profit and loss, we need to go to accounts, reports, all reports, performance reports, and then select profit and loss. And there's a picture as to what it looks like in Xero there. So I'm going to go reports, all reports, and then on the left-hand side of the screen, we'll see performance reports and profit and loss. And remember, you can star these reports if you want to get to them in a quick way, which is underneath your favourites. So by starring them, it puts them in favourites. So we'll go to profit and loss, and then our Excel spreadsheet then tells us the parameters that we want to select, and it also has a picture as to what that report looks like once we've run it. So we want to select compare periods. We want to select the date being our year end. So in our case, it's March 2017. We want to select the period of 12 months. Period 12 months. Compare with previous one period. Budget. If that budget equals none, that's fine. Ensure show total is unticked, and ensure show year to date is ticked. That's here. Then we click on update to run that report. So then we scroll to the bottom of the report and we click on the export to Excel icon. If you don't get this message, then it may be that the system has automatically saved your file. If it has saved your file, it's probably in your download folder, so I suggest you navigate there to find it. But we don't need to save it because we're only going to be using it this once. So I'm going to open it with Microsoft Excel. Back to our instructions, it tells me that in Excel, click on the Enable Editing once it's downloaded. So go back to the report that's downloaded, click on Enable Editing. And then going forward, it says select columns A to D. You need to make sure you just have A to D selected. You can select them by highlighting, clicking on the first column, holding your left mouse button down and scrolling across. You can select all the rows, but you must only select columns A to D. And then copy them, which Control C is a nice shortcut for doing that. Go back to the instructions. If you click on this little icon here, it will take you to the profit and loss account, and you just do Control V. I'm not going to paste here because I've got numbers in that work for the spreadsheet, but you would just do Control V with your cursor selected in A1. Going back to the instructions, it then tells us to shut that exported report. We don't need that exported report anymore, so I'm just going to shut it. I don't want to save it again, and I don't want to save the data that I copied and pasted. So that's how to run the profit and loss again. You might want to go to the top, so next time you come to do this, you can just run through those instructions or print them off if you want to. Go to instructions for balance sheet. Again, we're back into zero, accounts reports, all reports, position reports and balance sheet, and that's on the right hand side. So if we go up to the top, reports, all reports, and on the right hand side, we've got balance sheet here. Again, you can star it if you want, but if we click on balance sheet, we go back to our Excel spreadsheet. It tells us the parameters we want to select for that report. So we want the balance date to be the current month. So that will be June for me. I'm doing June 2016. Compared to last year end. So pick up last year end. Compare periods, previous 2 periods, and then we want to update. And then go down to the bottom again. So scroll to the bottom of the report, click on the Export to Excel icon. Again, we want to open it. We don't need to save it, but if it does save it, go to your downloads, it will be in there and you can open it. Click on Enable Editing. And then remember to select columns A to D. So as long as you select columns A to D and then Control C, go back into this report and do Control V to paste it here. And if it asks you to overwrite any data, that's fine. Just say yes, overwrite it. Again, I'm not going to overwrite this because I've got figures in here that work. Once you've done that, you'll have a corporation tax current year estimate. It will take your profit and loss per your profit and loss account. So if we go to your profit and loss account, scroll down the bottom, you'll see March 17, profit and loss to date this year is 27,196. So it's picked up 27,196 and it's adjusted for those adjustments I spoke about, depreciation, client entertaining, capital allowances. And it will then give you a corporation tax estimate. It is only an estimate. It doesn't include everything that's a corporation tax adjustment, but you shouldn't be too far away. That's a good starting point for how much your corporation tax is going to be. In terms of your prior year, you can also look at your prior year if you have a prior year, and this will give you an estimate as well. So again, in this case, we've got taxable profits if we go to a profit and loss from the prior year of 14,751, and that the estimated corporation tax amount is 2,950, nearly £3,000. So again, if you account for that, know that you've got that to pay. You won't go far wrong. You can also then go to the dividend. So as at 30th of June we're looking at, we've got available for dividends 28,000. You can then put the date of the dividend in. So if we're declaring a dividend, so for instance on the 5th of July, put the 5th of July in. The total of the dividend, so we've got available 28,000. We've got 100 shares. We want to declare a dividend of £10,000, and that's the dividend, total dividend, not per shareholder. So we're going to declare £10,000. That's what we take we want to take out of the business's dividend. The date of the dividend is when we're going to pay it. Sorry, I should have made that clear. £10,000. So here's the minutes of the meeting. We've got who's present, which is the director. And then down the bottom, we've got the payment details. John Smith's going to get 5,000 and Anne Smith's going to get 5,000. So again, you need to just print that off and keep that for your records. And then that's it. That's how the workbook works. If you have any problems running it the first time, just feel free to give us a call.